Okay, welcome everyone. You've reached Grandma Mo, and we're covering the games for Sunday, which we had the Mystics and the Sparks going at it, and then we had the Fever and the Valkyries. So the Fever, the Valkyries, the Sparks, and the Storm are all fighting for those last remaining spots in the playoffs. So the Sparks had to take on the Mystics, and the Mystics, they got beat pretty bad last night by the Valkyries. But you know what? They gave the Sparks a game. This one was close. And it ended close. But, I was looking at the play-by-play. At the 156 mark, the Sparks had a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. And then Iriafen hit a three. And then Austin hit a three. And Citron hit a three. That closed that gap. I mean, the Sparks ended up hitting a basket too, but it was 67-77. So Plum hit some free throws, and I think Ray Burrell hit a basket that eked it out for the Sparks. Plum hit it earlier in the fourth because it was tied, and then Plum hit 2 threes in a row that gave them a little bit of a cushion, but the Mystics kept fighting back. I mean, they didn't quite make it, but they did not give up, and they were coming for them. And, the Sparks ended up eking this one out. And, just a good game, good effort, both teams. But, the Mystics started out slow. The Sparks get the win 81-78. So it was only a 3-point win. And they were up by 10 with, just under 2 minutes. So the Sparks have improved to 18-20, and the Mystics have dropped to 16-25. And then yesterday when they lost to the Valkyries, that eliminated them from the playoffs. So the Mystics are trying to play spoiler now, and they have a good young team, so they have the basis for a good future in the next few years. So we'll see. So the Sparks outscored them in the first 22-11, so they, behind the 8 ball right in the first quarter. But then they actually outscored the Sparks every other quarter. Just not enough. So they outscored the Sparks 20-18 in the second, 18-15 in the third, and then 29-26 in the fourth. Points in the paint, the Sparks, they had 10 more. Sparks had 18-6 in fast break points. Turnovers were even, points off turnovers. Washington got a little bit more, but it wasn't anything significant. So the Mystics shot 38% overall, 39% from three. Let's see, rebounds. Rebounds were dead even at 40 apiece. So the Sparks shot 40% from the floor and only 27% from three. So, but, the Mystics made 9 and the Sparks made 10 of them. So the percentage wasn't necessarily, the Mystics took 23 threes. The Sparks took 36 of them. That's a lot. That's more than the Valkyries take, and the Valkyries take more than anybody overall for the whole season. So let's see here. The Mystics had 4 players in double figures. Citron, 12 points for her. She had 2 steals, a turnover, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. She was 4 for 7 overall, and 3 for 4 from 3. Kiki Iriafen, double-double for her. 22 points, 13 rebounds. She had a turnover and an assist. Austin had 11 points. She had a block and 7 rebounds. She was 3 for 9. They could have... she missed some shots down low that they need her to make. She's actually had that issue with the last couple of games. When she's making those, the Mystics are playing well. But, I mean, it's not easy. I mean, she's going up against she's 6'5", but she's going up against other players that big. And, it can be tough to do. So, Alicia Clark, she didn't score, but she had 4 rebounds and an assist. She only took 1 shot. Shug Sutton, who played well in the game last night, I think she scored like 17 points last night. She only got 2 this time. She had 5 assists and 2 rebounds. She was 1 for 6 overall. And then Jade Melbourne had 9 points. She had 3 turnovers, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. She was 3 for 8, 2 for 6 from 3. Stephanie Dolson, 10 points for her. She had a block, a steal, 3 assists, a rebound. She hit 2 threes, 2 for 2 at the foul line. She was 3 for 5 overall. And then Lucy Olson had 6 points. She was 3 for 10. She also played good in the, the second half of the Valkyries game. I mean, the game was already out of hand, but Lucy Olson came in and she was hitting her shots. But this game she was 0 for 5 from 3. She had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and 4 steals. Emily Ingsler, 6 points. She was 3 for 6. She had 3 rebounds, a turnover, and a steal. So that rounds everything out for the Mystics. And then we have the Sparks. The Sparks had 3 players in double figures. Jackson had 16 points. She was 5 for 12 overall. She was 4 for 10 from 3. 2 rebounds and a turnover. And then Hamby had 20 points, 12 rebounds, a block, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. She was 8 for 15 overall, 4 for 6 at the line. And then you had Stevens, 9 points. She had 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, a block, and a steal. She was 3 for 9, 1 for 5 from 3. And then you had Kelsey Plum. This was a good shooting night for Kelsey Plum. She was hitting her threes. She took, and 2 of them were in that fourth quarter that gave them that cushion. So she had 3 turnovers, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. She was 7 for 8 from the line, 3 for 6 from 3, 4 for 9 overall. So usually Jackson and Hamby took the majority of the shots. And then Stevens and Plum had 9 attempts. And then you had Julie Elliman with 4 points. She had 3 steals, 2 turnovers, 3 assists, 6 rebounds. She was 2 for 5. Ray Burrell was 3 for 6 overall. She had 6 points, 2 assists and a rebound. Cameron Brink had 5 points. She was 2 for 8 overall, 1 for 5 from 3. 2 turnovers, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Sarah Ashley Barker, 3 points. She hit a 3. And then Julie Van Loo didn't score. She had an assist and a turnover, and she was 0 for 3. So that's it. The Sparks are still alive. They're going to have to win out for them to even have a chance at the playoffs. So let's have a look at what they've got to deal with. So they have a back-to-back. It's a back-to-back. They've got to go. It looks like it's in Seattle. So they've got to go up to Seattle and take on the Storm. I mean, that's a winnable game for them. That was these 2 teams played in that double overtime game that was just nuts. And the Sparks won on a last-second shot by Jackson. So I don't know. That we'll see what happens, because if they beat them, then they're going to be tied in the loss column. Although Seattle's ahead, Seattle has played 3 more games than the Sparks. So the Sparks have, they've got to play 3 more games where Seattle, just to get even with Seattle. So they've got that one, and then let's see. Then they go to Atlanta. That's going to be tough. They got to go up to Seattle and then fly across the country to Atlanta and take on Atlanta. That's going to be tough for them. But, who knows? Who knows? So then they play Atlanta. I guess they're just going to stay there because they play them, let's see, what is it, Wednesday? They're playing them Wednesday and Friday both in Atlanta. Well, at least they don't have to travel. They can stay there. Let's see, what else does the Sparks have? Oh, then they have Dallas. That should be a win for them. So, and then they take on Phoenix. So they have Seattle, 2 against Atlanta, Dallas, and then Phoenix. That is going to be very difficult for the Sparks. And then they finish with the Aces. I mean, they can hope that the Aces are sitting their players by then. If the Aces win their the games they have left before the last, because that's the last day of the season. But the Sparks have a brutal schedule. If they get into the playoffs, it's going to be epic. Because they're going to have to win all those games. There are other teams that would really be thrilled if they beat Atlanta twice, because that could drop them out of the top. What are they? The Atlanta has, I think, 14 losses. What is it? Let me see here. Yeah, Atlanta's tied for, like, the Aces, Atlanta, and Phoenix are all tied with 14 losses right now. So if somehow the Sparks could beat them, that would drop them even with New York with 16 losses. That could throw a whole different kind of thing, the playoff structure into a whole different thing. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Sparks have the players. They just got to play better defense. Their team defense needs improvement drastically. Because if you get by their initial defender, you can go right in for a layup. They just don't have good help defense. But, who knows? It's just a communication thing, and, maybe they can fix that in the next week. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. WNBA season has been just terrific, and we're really looking forward to the next couple of weeks here when the playoffs start. So, okay, we'll see you next time.